This is a key, not to a car, but to a house. And what if I told you the entire house cost less than the average new car? You're looking at a screen right now, but I want you to imagine something real. The weight of this key in your hand, the sound of it unlocking your own front door, the feeling of walking into a space that is 100% yours. Does that feel impossible? Like a forgotten dream from a different generation? For millions, it is. But what if I told you that dream is very much alive? It's just not where you've been told to look. The average price of a new car in America has now crept over $48,000. Think about that. Nearly $50,000 for a machine that loses value the second you drive it off the lot. But for that exact same price, you could buy a home. No, not a down payment, the whole thing. The idea that you can't afford a house is a lie. The truth is, you can't afford a house in the handful of superinflated cities that dominate the conversation. Today, we're going on an investigative road trip to the places left behind. The American towns where you can buy a house for pennies on the dollar. We're going to find out what you actually get for your money. Is it a real home or a real nightmare? And most importantly, what's the catch? If you believe the dream of owning a home should be for everyone, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is a journey you won't want to miss. Let's figure this out together. Our first stop is a city that might not be on your radar, South Bend, Indiana. The median home price here is already a world away from the national average of over $443,000. But we're not here for the average. We're here for the unbelievable. In South Bend, you can find standing livable homes listed for under $50,000, $40,000, or even $30,000. We found multiple examples of 2-bedroom, 1.5-bath houses with over 1,400 square feet that recently sold for just $54,000. That's a full-sized family home for the price of a well-equipped sedan. So what's the deal? South Bend is a classic Rust Belt city. It was a manufacturing powerhouse that hit hard times when industries left. That history is the core reason for the rock-bottom housing prices. The population shrank, jobs vanished, and the houses got older. But that's not where the story ends. The catch in South Bend is becoming less of a catch every year. The city is in the middle of a massive revitalization. It's home to the University of Notre Dame, which acts as a powerful economic anchor and a hub for innovation. The city has been pouring money into its downtown, nurturing a tech scene, and rolling out the red carpet for new businesses. Now, it's not all sunshine and roses. The crime rate in South Bend is a legitimate concern and is higher than the national average. Doing your homework on a block-by-block level isn't just a good idea, it's essential. Property crime, in particular, is an issue you can't ignore, so the picture is complicated. You have shockingly low housing costs and a city with a real plan for the future, balanced against legitimate concerns about safety. It's not a perfect paradise, but for someone willing to be part of a city's comeback, South Bend offers an opportunity that's nearly impossible to find anywhere else. All right, from Indiana, let's head to a city that has been the poster child for cheap real estate for years, Detroit, Michigan. For decades, the name Detroit was a synonym for urban decay. But to think of it that way today is to miss one of the most incredible comeback stories in America. First, let's talk numbers that will blow your mind. The median sale price in Detroit is a staggering $106,000. That's 76% lower than the national average. The average home value is even lower, closer to $80,000. And yes, you can absolutely buy a house here for less than a new car. We're seeing 3-bedroom brick homes, fixer-uppers with great bones, selling for $24,000, $50,000, or $75,000. So, what's the catch? Historically, it was a brutal 1-2 punch of economic collapse and rampant crime. The fall of the American auto industry hit Detroit like a sledgehammer, leading to a mass exodus and thousands of abandoned homes, creating a vacuum filled by crime. But here's the truth that shatters that old narrative. Things are changing, and they're changing fast. While Detroit's overall crime rate is still high, the trend line is pointing dramatically downward. In a staggering 2024 milestone, the city recorded its lowest number of homicides since 1965. That isn't a statistical fluke. It's the result of years of focused community and police work. The economy is transforming too. The auto industry is still a giant, but Detroit is aggressively pushing into tech, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. A 2024 economic forecast from the University of Michigan projects a return to job growth, with wages for residents set to climb steadily. The catch in Detroit is no longer just crime and no jobs. The new catch is that you have to be willing to see the city for what it's becoming, not what it was. You'll find neighborhoods in transition. Some blocks are beautifully restored and vibrant, while others still wear the scars of the past. It takes a bit of a pioneer spirit, but for anyone who has been priced out, locked out, and beat down by the housing market, Detroit isn't just offering a cheap house, it's offering a piece of the comeback. From Detroit, we're driving a couple of hours south to our third city, Akron, Ohio. Once the undisputed rubber capital of the world, Akron's story echoes the ones we've been hearing, and so does its opportunity. The median selling price for a home in Akron is about $149,000, a full 66% lower than the national average. The average home value is even lower, at around $139,000. And when you start digging, you find deals that seem like typos. We saw a two-bedroom, one-bathroom home with over 1,100 square feet that sold for $63,500. Another three-bedroom went for just $63,000. You could buy a portfolio of rental properties here for the price of a single down payment in a major coastal city. So what's the real story? Akron's economy took a massive blow when tire giants like Goodyear and Firestone downsized or left, but Akron didn't stay down. The city made a brilliant strategic pivot. Today, its largest employers aren't in rubber, they're in healthcare. Health systems like Summa and Cleveland Clinic Akron General provide tens of thousands of stable, growing jobs. Beyond that, Akron used its manufacturing DNA to become a world leader in polymer research, creating a high-tech hub nicknamed Polymer Valley. The University of Akron has a world-renowned polymer science program that's fueling a new generation of high-tech manufacturing with over 400 polymer-related companies in the area. Now, for the downsides. Like any industrial city in transition, some parts of Akron are still fighting against underinvestment and crime. You have to do your research to know which neighborhoods are on the upswing and which are still struggling. The job market, while diversifying, is still finding its rhythm, and wages might not compete with bigger metro areas. The appeal of Akron is its quiet, steady strength. It's not as flashy as other comeback cities, but the foundation is solid. The housing is unbelievably affordable, key industries are growing, and the overall cost of living is low. For anyone looking for a stable, family-friendly city where your paycheck goes way, way further, Akron makes a powerful argument. For our last stop, we're heading all the way south to the very tip of Texas to a place that completely redefines affordability, Brownsville. While the rest of Texas has seen housing prices absolutely explode, Brownsville has remained one of the most budget-friendly cities in the entire country. The median home sale price here is around $251,000, but even that number is high for what's possible. The most affordable neighborhood, downtown Brownsville, has a median listing price closer to $167,500. And yes, you can find extreme fixer-uppers listed as low as $18,500, though be warned, a price that low usually means you're buying a project, not a home. The cost of living in Brownsville is a staggering 14 to 23% lower than the national average, with housing costs coming in as much as 41% lower. You can genuinely live well here on a fraction of what it costs almost anywhere else. So what's the investigation reveal? Brownsville's affordability is tied to its economy and its location. It's in one of the most southern, geographically isolated parts of Texas, and wages have traditionally been lower here. It simply hasn't had the kind of tech or oil boom that sent prices into the stratosphere in places like Austin and Houston. The main catch in Brownsville has been the job market. While the city is a major port for international trade with Mexico, the jobs are often in logistics and service industries that don't pay as much as you'd find elsewhere. But the tide is turning. The economy is growing, with new investment in aerospace thanks to the nearby SpaceX facilities. Plus, it a growing focus on healthcare and education. When it comes to crime, the picture is mixed and depends on who you ask. Some data shows Brownsville's violent crime rate is actually lower than the U.S. average. However, other reports suggest its property crime rate is significantly higher, which is a real concern for residents. But the upside is huge. Beyond the incredibly low cost of living, Brownsville has a rich, vibrant culture, a unique blend of American and Mexican heritage. The food is legendary, the community is strong, and you're just a short drive from the beaches of South Padre Island. It offers a lifestyle that is both incredibly affordable and culturally rich. Brownsville proves you don't have to choose between saving money and having a life with character. So, what's our final verdict? From the industrial heartland of South Bend and Detroit to the quiet resilience of Akron and the vibrant culture of Brownsville, each city tells a different story, but they all prove one thing. The path to homeownership that feels like a fantasy in most of America is a reality somewhere else. Are there trade-offs? Absolutely. Real issues with crime, economies in transition, and neighborhoods that are still healing are all part of the deal. This isn't about finding some perfect, problem-free utopia for pennies. It's about seeing the opportunity where other people only see the challenges. The American dream isn't dead. It just might have moved to a zip code you weren't expecting. So what do you think? Could you make the move to one of these cities? Let us know which one you'd pick, or if we missed one, in the comments below. We read every single one, and your suggestions could become our next destination. And if this investigation opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. You don't want to miss where we're going next. Thanks for watching.